Hi, it's Tom Werman, and you're watching CMS TV.
As a fan that has been following you guys since the 90s, pretty much since the beginning of the band, it's a different band than what it was. It's not the death metal band that we started with anymore. And you guys have, like we've talked all through, you've had many different changes along the way stylistically. When you guys look all the way back to the beginning and you hear those early records, do you even recognize that as Amorphis anymore, or is that just another band that just happened to be the same name with you guys in it?
No, I think we are saying I can hear ourselves. I still remember like recording those songs, and I still remember those sessions and playing live. And the fact is, like now, the four original members from the Karelian Isthmus album are in the band right now. That's also like, but of course I agree with you. It sounds different, but I have to remember as well that we were like 18 years old, started 17. So of course our musical taste has been like wider and going different directions. And as a band, we have wanted to like try something. Sometimes it has gone like to the forest and fast, but we just wanted to try something. It has been important to us to keep this like fun and fresh to us, that we can actually try different kind of things. So I think those are just like what we have to do as a band, and every album is affecting to next ones. That's what I think. So.
And if they all would have stayed sounding like that, you probably would have been out of business a long time ago, right?
Probably. Yeah.
CHRIS Akin Presents, and I, of course, am Chris Akin, and today on the show, we are talking with one of my favorite bands out there, the band Amorphis. They are back with a definite different record than I was expecting, I guess. It definitely takes some new twists and some new turns, which Amorphis has been known to do over their career. The album is called Borderland. It is out on September the 26th here in the States, and here to talk all about it are Tomi and Jan from the band Amorphis. Guys, how are you?
Great, thank you. It's been a quite holiday this summer because we haven't done any gigs. We've just loading the batteries for the autumn.
Sure. Well, obviously you guys have been working and doing all this stuff to get this record ready. Does that, when you go into it and you hit this time of the year, does it really feel like you're sort of missing the boat? Because you guys are tour dogs anyway, and you obviously, do the festival thing a lot of years. Do you feel like this is almost like not the right timing for you?
Yeah, it does. I mean, like, I'm so used to, play shows, summertimes, festivals and stuff, and I kind of feel like there's nothing to do because I can't just sit on my ass and, do nothing.
Right.
So I have to figure out other things and stuff like that. So yeah, but although on the other hand, it's good to to take a break and sort of reset our minds and things and stuff. So it feels more excited to hit the road when the album comes out. So looking forward for that.
Right on. Well, guys, let's talk about the album Borderland. As I said in the intro, to my ears, this is a very different record from you guys, and it's definitely not unusual for you guys to shape shift your sound and your style. But I listened to it a few times, and then I went back and listened to Halo a few times just to see if I was like forgetting, and they're two very different records to me. Vocally, they're different. I think the soundscape is different. So either one of you can pick this up, but talk a little bit about Borderland and specifically about the adaptations to what you guys were already doing.
Well, I think we have had in the past as well that we have kind of 3 album cycles, and then we feel like we have to try something else. Not necessarily huge steps, but something else. And we did 3 albums with Jens Bogren, and I think it started to be end of that era, like in Halo, because I guess we like tried those ideas 3 times, and I think it worked, but we were going to more like complex direction, I guess, and there was a lot of like orchestral things in top of everything. And so this time we wanted to like clean the table, and that's why we hired Jacob, the new producer, because we really loved what he has been doing, like his mixing skills and producing skills. So I think this is much more like a band-oriented album in a way. There isn't that much like add elements. There is some, but it's more like in the background, and some percussion stuff and some small orchestral stuff. But basically, it's like what we play live. And I think also the balance between instruments is like more like our live sound. You can hear like everything what's happening. There's a lot of layers. And
Sure. Well, let me ask you about working with Jacob Hansen, who produced the record. When you bring someone in and they have a different vision than even what you've been working on, even though you knew that you wanted to kind of push some new areas, who makes that decision? Is it you guys as the band and he adapts to it? Or does he come in and say, well, maybe you should try this, or maybe you should try this tuning, or and then you guys adapt to him?
Well, this time around, I think it was more on us, to be honest, because with Jens, there was a lot of, well, I mean, there was a lot of pre-production and a lot of arranging and a lot of like this and that. And he came to Finland before we rehearsed, and it was like very detailed production, and he sort of took almost like a 7th member of the band role. But this time with Jacob, I was kind of other way around. So he kind of made us do what we do best, and and just guiding the process like along the way, and it made me feel that we had sort of more freedom of musical expression this time, and because we didn't like say or take part on everything and every aspect of the whole thing. Of course, necessary ones, and as a producer, you have to say something at some point. But it was more like it just let us play and do our thing. And although this time around, I think most of the material was perhaps better or very well arranged already in the demo phase, and so it was kind of I think he was more easy on us than we are used to in the past. So I'm not saying we got away easy, but maybe a little bit easier, or it was different experience to be honest. Yeah.
Sure. I wanted to talk about the demos a little bit because I was reading this through the press. So if it's bullshit, just tell me that it is. But Asa was saying in the press that you guys started with a vast amount of demos, like a lot more than you normally do. Was that because you guys were expanding the feel of what you do and trying different things with the demos, and then you narrowed down to what became Borderland?
I think we always have had that problem.
Okay.
To have too many songs. It's very normal that we have like 25 songs, because almost all of us are composing and doing the demos at home. So we end up like, okay, there's 25 songs, and at some point we were fed up to arguing like with ourselves, like everybody had like different opinions which songs should be on the album. So for a few albums now we have done that producer is picking up the songs which we are gonna record. So was this time. We recorded 13 songs, and which Jacob was picked from the whole file. So Yeah, and he was deciding the song order and everything like this. This we want to keep that to producer because otherwise there is 6 different opinions. But I think there's a very different kind of songs like comparing to each other. So with different songs, this album would be totally different than it is, and I think it's great.
Sure.
We're very
What,
happy
what,
with it.
oh, go ahead,
Yeah,
Jan.
yeah. I mean, it's good to leave that sort of decisions to the because, as Tommy said, there's 6 members in the band. If we start arguing about whose songs are gonna be on a record, that will be a never-ending cycle. And also because the producer can listen it to the from like an outside perspective. That we are too close to the material when we're rehearsing and composing it, and it's not necessarily easy to say like which ones fit and that's why, and also for single releases and the, like Tommy said, the album order and everything we usually leave for the producers shoulders, and it's been working for us really well, and because I mean, even though if there's a bunch of songs that gets left behind, doesn't necessarily mean that they're bad songs, but they just don't fit in the entire album sort of theme or musically. They're a little bit isolated. So yeah, so I think Jacob did a fantastic job, and so did Jens in the past, and that's why we hired these guys.
Sure, absolutely.
Welcome to the ultimate experience for hard rock and heavy metal fans. Introducing the CMS Locals VIP app, your #1 destination for all things on the CMS network. Dive into the classic metal show, CHRIS Akin Presents, Seth Williams Show, and more, all in one place. It's free to get started or elevate your experience with a subscription for just $4.99 a month. Go commercial free, get advance releases, and enjoy exclusive bonus episodes. Plus, it's the prime spot to chat with like-minded fans who love raw, uncensored commentary. Are you ready to rock? Download from your iOS or Android store, search for the CMS network, and join the community now. It's free, it's easy, and it's the best way to keep our shows with you every single day. Install the Locals.com app today and follow the CMS network.
Now, from what you guys are saying, it sounds like everybody contributes, like everybody in the band contributes, at least ideas that then get mixed around and you figure out which songs become Amorphis songs. Is that hard to do? And I'll explain what I mean by this is all of you guys play different instruments, so you all come at music from a different place. Obviously, Jan, you probably come from a much more beat-guided place when you're writing material. And Tomi, obviously, as the guitar player, you're thinking about guitar rhythms and guitar riffs. And, as you bring things in, do you guys come from different places, or do you guys all kind of meet and say, well, this is sort of the vibe that we want to go for with this record, and then you try to write for the vibe?
Well, I think that it's a little bit because these days people are making quite ready home demos like with drums and everything, and if I write or Santeri or Tomi or I mean everybody knows how to lay down beats and everybody knows how to play a little bit guitar and stuff like that. So I mean usually it's the demos are very well like ready made and before we take them to the rehearsal place, and then of course we bounce back ideas and stuff like that. But I don't know if I usually or does anybody. Obviously, I would imagine, for example, Santeri would take it from the keyboard player's perspective because he's a keyboard player, and that's different. But personally, I don't do it like from instrument point of view necessarily, but rather than musical idea, melody, and chords and stuff like that. So maybe Tomi has something to add.
Well, I guess it's just like you know each other that well. We have been playing together that long, so if I do like some home demo and I play keyboards like bling 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 bling, I know that Sander will pick it up like playing it like it should be if I just have a right melody.
Sure.
So it's not like that. I mean, I think we all have our own spaces in this sound field, so to say. And me and Jan, we have played together since we were 12 years old. We had the first bands then, so I think our chemistry is very like strong. Like we don't have to talk about some things. We just do it, and we know that he's gonna react by playing this. So it's a chemistry thing, I think.
Sure. Well, one thing that I noticed, and again, this is just my ears, so it could just be me, but your singer, the other Tommy, this is by far his most dynamic record by a lot. I mean, he's covering growling and low end and high end, and like he's really stretched his voice on Borderland. Did you guys see that coming in, or is this something that he just took upon himself to elevate, the songs or his performance on the songs?
I guess we didn't know what he was doing in the studio because we were focusing to nail our stuff down, like doing the music, and at the same time Tommy was arranging the lyrics to the songs, and he was like doing that in Finland while some of us were in Denmark. So we just heard the material when it was like finished, so he was working with one Finnish guy or two Finnish guys who were recording and producing his singing. So it was like surprise to us as well, like always it is. So.
Sure.
Yeah, there was some ideas, of course, like he's laying down some ideas on top of the demos. So there was a rough idea like what it's gonna be like, but it was way more for sure, and I was very surprised too, like how diverse the vocals were, and but as Tommy said, it's been like that every time. I think it's very diverse on Halo and super diverse on Queen of Time, and like he can really deliver a wide range of vocals, so it wasn't a surprise in that sense, but yeah, I agree that Borderland is like he's expanded his range even further this time.
Definitely has. Well, guys, let's talk about a couple of the tracks on the record. I want to start with what I think is the heaviest song on the record, which is Bones. Certainly that's an ass kicker of a tune. Tell me about this song and tell me how it came together.
That's Santeris, the keyboard player's song, and I think he mentioned somewhere that he wanted to show that keyboard players can do the heavy guitar riff song as well, because everybody is expecting keyboard player to do like just nice melodies, and but anyway, Santeri has created in the past anyway like great guitar riffs and like heavy stuff, but that was Santeri's idea. I think it sounded immediately good when we started to practice that in a rehearsing place, and I think it's one of the most amorphous song in the album in a way. It could be like even not necessarily how it is now, but some of the riffs could be presented like Amorphis in 90s.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, and I really like that. It's kind of this more sort of low tempo metal banger style, but it has all these elements that we are known for, oriental riffing and percussion, and like simple driven beats and stuff like that, and of course growls versus clean vocals and and keyboard solos and guitar. It has every element we are sort of known for, and that it really represents the sound of Amorphis, like the modern sound of Amorphis very well. And yeah, definitely one of my favorite tracks from the album.
Sure.
Yeah.
Another one I wanted to touch on, which goes in a very different direction from Bones, is The Lantern, which very cinematic, soundscapey type of a song. Talk a little bit about that one, and whose idea was that one, because it really does kind of stretch musically from what you guys are known for doing.
Yeah, and it's Esa's song, and it is actually the only only, if I'm not totally mistaken, is the only track this time from this album that has sort of odd time signature. All the rest is sort of basic 4/4. So it's sort of it's a little bit different, and yeah, it is sort of proggy, but in a very subtle way, to my opinion, and very like massive and emotional and like, yeah, like you said, cinematic in its own right. So yeah, also one of my favorite numbers from that record, definitely.
Right on. Well, one thing I sort of picked up on, and maybe I'm reading too much into it, but it really seemed like as an overall theme, you guys were kind of talking about like society losing touch with the natural surroundings, like everything is turning more to greed than anything else. Am I reading more into that than there is, or was there some subtle societal commentary thrown into the lyrics?
Well, that's a good question. I think you sort of got it. if
Okay.
if I understood right but I mean, it's so vast and diverse, and meaning wise, it could be under interpretation for almost anybody. So like, as I didn't write the lyrics, and I can't like give you very detailed insight, but yeah, it and it's the space between two worlds, and that can be
Or
mainly
the
Sure.
anything. Yeah.
life and death, or yeah, the borderland is like place between like underworld and like this life where we are. So
Right.
it's like, I guess there is like a lot of like opposite themes in the lyrics this time.
Sure. Definitely. Hey, it's Chris Akin from the classic metal show Chris Akin Presents and the Seth Williams Show, straight from the uncensored heart of the CMS network. We've just been crowned a certified Rumble creator, and that means we're bringing the heat. All our shows, commercial free, baby. Advanced episode drops, sometimes months before the normal release, so you're not stuck waiting. You'll get all this plus exclusive content for Rumble Premium subscribers that'll blow your mind. And with Rumble Premium, you'll get every CMS Network show and all of Rumble's other videos with no ads and no fluff. This is our official home, Rumble. It's raw, powerful, and unfiltered. You want in? Just hit us up at rumble.com/register/classic metal show to sign up for free commenting, chat live, and just your ability to join the chaos of all of our shows. Then while you're there, swing by any of our videos, smash that Rumble Premium button, and level up. Subscribe now. Don't sleep on this. Hit the link in the description. Obviously, as we talked about a little bit at the beginning, you guys are not on tour right now. Is there a tour schedule being put together? Are you looking mostly at 2026 to be out there? I mean, what does the tour schedule look like for you guys?
Yeah, we start the Arch Enemy tour. That's the first tour we're gonna do after this, and I'm very much waiting for that as well, because it's a great package. We have toured with Arch Enemy like I think 9 years ago, and
Sure.
Nightwish and Elevati as well. They're all good friends of ours, and Gatekeeper is great band, I think, what I've heard. And yeah, some of our band are like listening more, but I'm waiting for that. But of course, after that, we will do like some headlining tours, hopefully US, definitely in Europe, maybe next fall. Not this fall, but 26, and maybe Asia. I don't know. There's a lot of planning now, but nothing like released yet. So, but it will be busy year for sure.
Sure.
Yeah, there's lots of offers on the table, so I think it's gonna be very busy. But that's how we usually do it, after the album comes out, and then it's like 2 or 3 years of quite intensive touring, and hopefully it's gonna be like that, because I'm getting bored.
Is it harder to get over here now with all the, and I don't want to turn this into any kind of political nonsense, but with all the stuff going on as far as, coming from Europe to the States, is it like incredibly difficult now to get over here?
That's
We
a
don't
good
know
question.
yet.
Yeah, I don't know yet because we haven't
Yeah,
applied
we'll
any
see.
visas yet. But for what I've heard, it can be tricky for some people for some reason, whatever that might be, and you know. But hopefully not. But I would not assume that we would have any problems because we're not like, criminals or anything like that.
Right.
So, yeah, I think it should be fine. Hopefully, no problems. Yeah.
Right, definitely. And one last thing, guys, before we wrap this up, I'm just curious. Look, as a fan, I'll just tell you guys, as a fan that has been following you guys since the '90s, pretty much since the beginning of the band, it's a different band than what it was. I mean, it's not the death metal band that we started with anymore. And you guys have, like we've talked all through, you've had many different changes along the way stylistically. When you guys look all the way back to the beginning and you hear those early records, do you even recognize that as Amorphis anymore? Or is that just another band that just happened to be the same name with you guys in it?
No, I think we are saying I can hear ourselves. I mean, I still remember like recording those songs, and I still remember those sessions and playing live. And the fact is, like now, the four original members from the Karelian Isthmus album are in the band right now. That's also like, but of course, I agree with you. It sounds different, but I have to remember as well that we were like 18 years
Right.
old, started 17. So of course our musical taste has been like wider and going different directions. And as a band, we have wanted to like try something. Sometimes it has gone like to the forest and fast, but we just wanted to try something. It has been important to us to keep this like fun and fresh to us, that we can actually try different kind of things. So I think those are just like what we have to do as a
Right.
band, and every album is affecting to next ones. That's what I think. So
Sure. And if
sometimes
they
yeah.
and if they all would have stayed sounding like that, you probably would have been out of business a long time ago, right?
Probably.
Probably,
Yeah.
yeah.
But it's funny because it's not like I'm listening to those albums all the time these days. But
Right.
but I mean, so there's also other factors like the times, and of course we're being young and all that. But also the times are totally different. No internet, like the production studios, like the whole business was different. That also it's hard to even compare like how we would do things, if we would start now or whatever. It's impossible. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it's been a long ride, and I hope we can keep on doing that, still. Another
Right.
35 years maybe.
Somehow I don't think you're going to get quite that long.
Well,
Yeah,
one thing
the modern medical science is getting crazy. Yeah.
Right. No doubt. Well, guys, obviously you have this great new release, Borderland. It is Amorphous. September 26th. It is out here in the States and I believe everywhere else. Where is the best place we could tell people to go to buy something? We don't want to say go to Spotify. We want them to go somewhere and buy a shirt, buy a hat, buy a CD, whatever it is. Where do we tell them to go?
Well, I think you can go to Amorphis website and find every link possible over there, and also Rainy Phoenix Music website got a vast catalog of our stuff. So I would recommend those two. Maybe I forgot something Tommy might want to add, but yeah, go to the website and you can find everything, I guess.
Very good. All right. Well, guys, one more time. The album is Borderland. It is Amorphous. September 26th is the date. get it early. Order it now. Pre-order it so that these guys can survive and thrive and get to whatever city in the world you are in. All right, guys. Well, this has been fun. Thanks so much for joining me here on Chris Akin Presents, and appreciate it, man. Good luck with the record.
Thank you so much.
very
Thanks for having
Thank
us.
you very much. Take care and see you.